The BodyArmor LYTE Series West has been on a month-long break here on AG the channel, but tonight we return with these West Series drivers, one of the shortest tracks that we're going to go to this season on the racetrack that we're going to have two races at this season as well. We are here just outside of Boise at Meridian Speedway in Meridian, Idaho, here for the Meridian 250. It's race number 6 of the 2025 BodyArmor LYTE Series West here tonight on this quarter-mile racetrack. Hello everybody, this is AG here and welcome to the Meridian Speedway here in Meridian, Idaho. First time we have ever done a race on this racetrack on the channel. That was the case of our last race here in the West Series over at Irwindale. And that race was run by the guy that is starting on the pole here tonight, Ryan Durrani, in that number 54 machine. Also leads in the points. He's got an opportunity of doing exactly what Alexander Rowe did in the LYTE Series, winning back-to-back races. We'll have to see if he can do so here around this quarter-mile racetrack, Meridian Speedway. And a real excited driver and a guy who has run this racetrack before in his series, Nathan Stapleton. And you know a little bit about this racetrack and what its characteristics are. What do you expect here tonight around this quarter-mile racetrack for 63 laps of fast action?
Well, you said the word fast, and it is going to be very, very fast. It is a quarter-mile short track in the middle of nowhere in Idaho, but boy, does it produce some fantastic racing. Mostly want to be on the bottom. The outside lane can challenge sometimes, but it is a fairly narrow track. You want to really stay double file for a while. It is a no-go. But this track is very, very fun. As you mentioned, I ran this track last year in my version of the BodyArmor LYTE Series and the NR2003 West Series, and it was a very, very fun race. And I'm very much looking forward to what these drivers can do on a very short track in Idaho here tonight.
It's going to be a fun one here for 63 laps of action, and the first of two races that we are actually going to run here at the Meridian Speedway this season as well. And we have a driver in this field who is from the state of Idaho, and that is Blaine Keys, and he's going to be in both of the Meridian races, so we're excited to see what he can do. You can see him right there starting in the 17th position in the number 14 machine, still going for win number 30 of his career. Will it come at his home racetrack here tonight? That would be pretty cool if that ended up being the case. Here's how they line up in the championship standings after 5 races. Ryan Durrani's got a 7-point lead, which is quite a bit for a series such as this on the field. Of course, won the last race at Irwindale. Nicholas Cameron there, only 7 points behind him coming into this one. Of course, Nicholas Cameron starting a little bit deep in the field on that outside lane. Skep Silver is 8 points behind, and then you got a tie for the 4th position between Mauricia Vebalist, Owen Miles, and Johnson Jameson. They are all 11 points behind coming into this race. Ryan Durrani leads us to the green flag here tonight alongside Caleb Rose in the number 24. You got the 72 of Kyler Sustry, who won at Kern County, to the inside of Rashia Mahendra in the 81. Johnson Jameson, Owen Miles, Trey Wright, and the 11 machine of Skep Silver. And we'll have to see what Skep Silver can do from that outside lane as well. It's going to be interesting to see what all these guys can do from the outside lane. These are guys that have had some success this season, where Skep Silver got the win at the LA Coliseum, which was a quarter-mile racetrack. Zayden Davison to the inside of Mauricia Vebalist there to round up the top 10 starting positions. And you got Max Davis, Nicholas Cameron, Henry Brown, and then the 10 machine there, that car driven by, I can't remember. Why can't I remember who drives that car? You got the list, Nathan. I am so sorry.
The number 10 is Marcus Glitch.
Marcus Glitch. I apologize to Mr. Marcus Glitch.
I'm Staff Sergeant Proto with the soldiers of the 1st Cavalry
skill
Division.
Issue on my part.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
These guys are going to roll off here in just a moment. With Keegan Thompson and the 05 machine of J.R. Rippleton rounding out the field. Blaine Keys at the back. All right, quickly, Nathan. Who's getting the job done here tonight in this Meridian 250?
I'm going to go with our Travis's team, the number 72,
Starts third here tonight, and we're already green flag racing here in this quarter-mile racetrack, and a good jump there for Kyler Sustry. Trying to get to the inside of Ryan Durrani, but Durrani gets a good push there on the outside. He's going to move up just a little bit right there and lead lap number 1, but a very quick start here. And, of course, this quarter-mile racetrack, these guys get around here very, very quick. Ryan Durrani there, holding on to the race lead, but Kyler Sustry all over the back bumper of this 54 as Johnson Jameson moves to the inside of Caleb Rose for the 3rd position. And Sustry still right there on the back bumper of this 54. It's a tight battle up front here at Meridian.
Welcome to a quarter-mile short track, Alex. This is what this place is all about, and maybe a little bit of a bumping one there, and really a bumping one, and a really, really bumping one on the 54 right there of Durrani, and this is what you'll see in both races, I'm sure, at Meridian. You touched on it, they like to slide a little bit in 3 and 4, but not so much in 1 and 2. And how about that Kyle Suss right to the race lead, and the lap times here absolutely fly by. It might be 63 laps, but we are absolutely just zooming around here and already. And honestly, I don't know if this would be a factor, but maybe, just maybe, we might have lap traffic with this being a 4 mile.
It is possible. There are only 17 cars in this field, so it is a bit of a smaller field here for these guys. But already on lap number 7 here at Meridian, at about a 12 to 13 second lap time for these guys. There's Aiden Davidson to the inside of Caleb Rose. That's for the 3rd position right there. Johnson James is trying to find his way up. He is in the 5th position. And how about our guy Blaine Keys? He's already gotten 5 of these guys so far in the number 14 machine, trying to find his way up front. But this is a difficult place to work your way from the back to the front, just considering how small this racetrack is. It'll be kind of difficult for him to find his way up front, maybe without a caution here tonight. We'll have to see if that ends up working out for him. Rashid Mahendra to the inside of Johnson James, and that's for the 5th position right there. Caleb Rose has solidified his spot in the 4th position. Zay Davidson with a solid run here tonight. Of course, he got max points at Willow Springs, though he did not get the win in that race. Kyler Sustrai did get the win at Kern County, going for his 2nd win of the season here in the BodyArmor LYTE Series West, and he took that lead right away from the 54 of Ryan Durrani.
And you know, sometimes I get my prediction right and sometimes I don't, but Kyle right. I'm big on him. He's not the best of luck in my physical lanes, but here in this one, with it being a Dwaz lane series, he's doing a good job and doing a good job out front while going in 2nd to 51 of Zane Davidson in the 3rd position, and it's the things are settling in a little bit from double file to single file. It's like Caleb Rose might be trying to gain on Zane Davidson right there, and that's one thing about this track that is very unique. They try the outside lane in 1 and 2, it doesn't really work. They try the outside lane in 3 and 4, and they can challenge. So it's a very interesting track. Now, Klaus's other car, 61, about got turned by the 25 there. That's Keegan Thompson, almost turning Matt Davis.
Keegan Thompson trying to get some more points here. He is currently in the 8th position in the standings coming into this race. 14 points behind Ryan Durrani, but Durrani running 2nd right now is in a good position to hold on to the points lead. He would only lose the 3 points to Kyler Sustrai, who's all the way back 14 points behind. Durrani looking pretty strong right now, but Zayden Davidson trying to close in here on his pseudo teammate. Of course, the 51 and the 22 are the Grattan cars here, and then the 54 and the 15 are the Velocitar cars in the West Series. This 51 machine with the GRT on the hood. You see a lot of that around the channel, and Zay Davidson trying to make this team proud and get Stewart a owner's victory here in the BodyArmor LYTE Series West. That is something that has yet to happen with either Davidson or Henry Brown in this series. They have they got 1 win in the Wall Walk Cup Series so far this year. See these guys kind of checking up there into the corner. Kyler Sustrai trying to do all he can to hold on to this lead and extend it. He's got 1.5 seconds on a quarter-mile racetrack right here. Zay Davidson's trying to get around Durrani. I think this 51's a bit faster than the 54, but there's just no room for him to go right here. Just not enough room on this racetrack to make that pass. Caleb Rose, Rashid Mahendra, Johnson Jameson, Keegan Thompson, Rishi Vebelis, Henry Brown, and Trey Wright currently the top 10, the drivers who would receive championship points. Blaine's kind of falling back here in the 14. He has not gotten around these guys as well as we would have thought. Move to the inside of Marcus Glitch right there, trying to get in position. Skep Silver's falling back. He won the first quarter-mile race that we had at the LA Coliseum, and he is outside the points right now. So is J.R. Rippleton, and so is Owen Miles in the back of the field there. Blaine Key's trying to make a move. Got some double wide action here. We got someone that went around. It was Durrani.
Oh, no.
Oh, my.
2nd place. I think the 61. Or
it would have been Davidson. Davidson was the one that was right behind him. There's heavy damage on the 51 machine right there. And our first yellow of the night here in the Meridian 250, and it doesn't look like it's going to be back-to-back wins for Ryan Durrani, and he's going to fall back in the standings if he doesn't rebound from that. He's still in the points. Want to find himself in the 9th position right there, but he's not going to be happy with the 51. I'm assuming that those two got together. Davidson trying to find some way around Ronnie so he can close up the Kyler Sustry. Well, he got a caution in the middle of all that. Now he's going to have an opportunity of getting to Sustry for this race victory. Mahendra is 3rd. Caleb Rose and Johnson Jameson the top 5. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring up the caution here in the Meridian 250 in Meridian, Idaho, the Meridian Speedway, the BodyArmor LYTE Series West. Well, it was a tight battle, and it got a little too tight right here. Zayden Davidson got a nose to the inside of Ryan Durrani, and Durrani did not really see him there, and Davidson was not having any of it. Off the exit at turn 2, going to spin that 54 around. And then the damage that Zayden Davidson accumulated is going to come from Caleb Rose. He's flying on this outside lane right here and just sideswipes that 51. It's funny how he gave him damage and didn't even hit him at the place where he got damage. But that's what happened there. And Durrani's going to lose all those spots. Tough break for the 54, and he's going to fall back to the 9th position because of that spin there, and he's not going to be happy with Zayden Davidson after that one. That is for sure.
Welcome to a 4-mile short track. Ronnie twiking to the inside. Davidson did not like that, and he just turned him sideways, and nowhere to go for Caleb Rose. Tried avoiding and got into the right wheel corner panel and somehow gave right side damage and faced a flying to catch up to Kyle Sustry, and that's just what happens on a 4-mile short track like this. Saw a lot of bump and ones, and unfortunately saw a bump and dump here at Meridian.
And Kyler Sustry, he is going to see that 1.5 second lead evaporate because of that, and Zayden Davidson's actually going to benefit from that, assuming the damage does not affect his speed. But let's see what happens here on the restart. Kyler Sustry out front here at the Meridian Speedway. Let's see what he does on the restart here. 6th race of the season in the BodyArmor LYTE Series West. We are back here at the Meridian Speedway in Meridian, Idaho for the BodyArmor LYTE Series West action here on a Monday night. And definitely had some action there between Zayden Davidson and Ryan Durrani, and now Zayden Davidson going to have an opportunity at this race victory with Kyler Sustry right ahead of him. Rashi Mahendra is 3rd, Caleb Rose, Johnson Jameson the top 5, but everybody still on the lead lap here on lap number 29. We're going to restart here at the Meridian Speedway. Good jump there for Sustry. Zayden Davidson's got a lot of speed in that car, even with the damage. I don't think that's going to affect him too much. As Mauricio Vettel is to the inside already of Henry Brown back in the field right there. Durrani going to try to rebound. He's down in 9th. A good jump there for Kyler Sustry. Going to hold on to the race lead here. Not quite halfway through this Meridian 250, but a couple laps from now we'll be at that halfway point of the race.
I think Durrani still has a fast race car. My theory on what ended up happening, I think he just got spun, and then maybe Davidson hit the outside wall, and that's where he got his damage on. The right side, Caleb Rose to the inside of the number 81 of Mahendra, and he's going to take that spot away. And let's see what ends up happening here if Ronnie's able to make some moves. And right back on there.
They're making some moves. Nicholas Cameron, who is 2nd in the standings, trying to get to the inside of Durrani, and it's some movement in the championship on him, and he's going to be able to do so. And you got Johnson James and Keegan Thompson. Teammates there at Vision Motorsports battling with each other. Jameson trying to get that inside lane to work, can't quite get to him. Now, I would like to mention Caleb Rose and Nicholas Cameron drive for Blaine Keys. So even if Blaine Keys himself cannot get the win, which he's still stuck outside the top 10 right now in that 14 machine, I know Blaine would love to see one of his team drivers get the race victory and he get an owner win here tonight at his home racetrack. Caleb Rose trying to close in, but Kyler Sustry has done everything right in this race, and as I say that, he goes a little wide right there. You got to be careful. The tires are going to wear out just a little bit to get out of the groove. These guys do tend to slip up, and you said, Nathan, you absolutely love this racetrack in the game. It is a lot of fun here at the Meridian Speedway, and we've had some fun racing here tonight in the LYTE Series West, as that's not going to work. Keegan Thompson hard on the outside wall. Mahendra on the back bumper there at Caleb Rose. That's for 3rd. Johnson James is going to move up to the 5th position with that move right there.
And a bump and one, side by side, Rose and Mahendra. And this track's really unique. You got pit pauses on the outside instead of the infield. You got pace on the infield instead of the outside on pit road. And these guys sometimes tend to get tight and got into the outside wall. You mentioned that Caleb Rose might be able to get a win for the owner of Blaine Keys here tonight. Well, I don't know about that. And that's why he is struggling. His tires are burning up here, and even though he has damage, Zayden Davidson is not letting Sestroy pull away like that first one. And I have to say, I think we have a battle for this race win if this stays green.
Davison just keeps on overshooting just a little bit there going into the corner. He's trying to find him. He found a way around Durrani. However, that ended up happening. Of course, you guys have already seen that in the replay, but in terms of us recording this, we have not seen that happen yet, so we still kind of don't know on our end at this moment. But has the 88 GRT car won in the Sprint Series yet, Nathan?
No, I don't think
so. This would be the first time on the channel that a GRT-sponsored car would go to victory lane if it were to happen.
And yeah, I am right on that.
It might happen. Look at that. Sestroy wide again.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ladovicine is not won yet, so that would automatically keep the GOT car out of winning so far. And Davidson might be able to get there. He goes wide off turn number 4, though. This is good stuff. This racetrack is built for this 1v1 battles, and we have a battle between these two. We might have battle for third back there, and I'm sure we have battles all over the entire field. And I was about to say before that caution, that police will catch up with lap traffic. This might be a quarter-mile track, but we could see lap traffic, especially with that being a single file restart instead of a double file. And Blaine Keys now starting to make some moves finally, and it's number 14 inside the top 10. Don't know if he's gonna have enough time, but he might be able to get top 5 at his own racetrack.
Of course, that's up to the 8th position now for Blaine Keys in the 14 machines. A good run for him right there. And did I see the lights on the pace car? No, I did not.
I think
Just a glitch in the lights there when I was moving through. Oh, Sestroy, he keeps doing that off the exit at turn number 4. Just getting in that outside wall. Caleb Rose is falling back a little bit. He's actually gotten in the outside wall. And Mahendra is solidifying their spot in the 3rd position. And you got Johnson Jamison, Nicholas Cameron, Keegan Thompson, Blaine Keys, Mauricio Vebles, and Henry Brown currently with the last point. Ronnie outside of the points right now as the points leader. Not at all what he wanted at this point. Henry Brown trying to get one more point here on Mauricio Vebles. Vebles has been slipping back in that 44 machine. And she's going to lose yet another position right there to Henry Brown. That might open the door for Durrani to slip in there and get that last point. And he will slip right in there and attempt to get that last point. Back up to the lead. Blaine Keys a little wide right here. Not going to hit the outside wall, but he's got to be careful right there. And Kyler Sestroy is doing a good job holding on to this race lead, but it's not over yet. 11 laps to go here at Meridian for Kyler Sestroy, trying to hold on to this race lead ahead of Zayden Davison. Zayden Davison trying to get, it's not going to be his first win on the channel. I know he's won in the Sprint Series before, but this would definitely be a huge win for Davison if he can pull it off. As he's been running in the Wall Wall Cup Series, driving for Team Williams. He's done an excellent job over there, making a lot of those races. But this is the series where he's competing for the championship. And it has not been a good start to the season. The only points he has are from Willow Springs, where he got the 10 points for being the highest finisher in the West Series. He has not come close to winning an official race yet this season, but he might have a shot right here, especially if these guys catch up the lap traffic before the end of this race. And Kyler Sestroy is about to the back of the field of Owen Miles right there.
I mentioned it, single file restart instead of a double file start, and this is going to be interesting. The laps pick off so fast around here, but Sestroy is, I think, the fastest car here tonight. No doubt about it. Zayden Davison is a close second. Oh, Sestroy keeps on going wide. That's the thing about this track. They like to go wide. They push the limits on this 4 mile. Davison's still there. Sestroy makes a mistake in this final handful of laps. He still could have a pass for the wins. Maybe 5 laps to go. Sestroy trying to dominate, but it's not going to be a dominant victory. At least by the margin of victory, because Davison is still waiting in the lanes with 4 laps to go.
We're going to have to see if he's got an opportunity. I mean, there is only 4 laps left in this race, so we're going to be out of here in a minute. Quite literally. I don't think they're going to really catch up the lap traffic before the end of this race entirely, so Sestroy shouldn't have to worry about Owen Miles ahead of him. But this 51 of Zayden Davison trying all he can to find some way around the 72, but as long as Sestroy doesn't make a mistake, he's going to get his 2nd win of the season and become the first driver in the West Series to win 2 races there. I know Travis Trenton would love a win as an owner here with Triad Racing. And he's going to have 1 lap to do it here at the Meridian Speedway with Kyler Sustry in the 72. He's got to have a clean lap. And that 15 machine's right ahead of him. He's got enough of a gap on Zayden Davidson where it shouldn't be an issue. Kyler Sustry need a 2nd win of the season, and he's going to get it here at the Meridian Speedway in the Meridian 250. Zayden Davidson, Rashia Mahendra, Caleb Rose, Johnson Jameson, Nicholas Cameron, Henry Brown, Keegan Thompson, Blaine Keys, and Mauricio Vebelis with the last point. And Ryan Durrani is going to get 0 points here tonight. That is not the way you want it to go if you're the points leader. Nicholas Cameron's going to gain a few points on him right there. Durrani is still going to be the points leader at the end of the night, but he's going to be a little bit closer to the rest of the field than he would have hoped right there. But Kyler Sustry got around him there early on in the race, took that lead away, and he did not look back. And what a race here at Meridian. And hey, we get to come back here again in, I think it's June. I think it's the end of June when we're back here, so just a couple of months from now. That should be a very fun race again once we get here later in the season in the West Series.
Oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, that was a lot of fun. Might not have been a lot of passing for the lead, but there was battles all over this racetrack, and we started battle rails. Zayden Davidson was not letting Kyler Sustry pull away like he did the first one, but he had almost a 2-second lead. So, a very impressive win from Kyler Sustry. Did not staple drinks in here tonight, but a very tough break for Ryan Durrani. He was 2nd. We can only assume that he got turned by Zayden Davidson. Davidson gets 2nd, and Durrani gets 11th, and he's not even going to get any points here tonight. But that was a fun one. A quarter-mile track, and all about the battles, all about the slip-ups, and Sustry didn't have a clean race, had a couple of mistakes, but none of them really were too costly, and Triad Racing gets a win in Idaho. What a battle here at Meridian Speedway.
Definitely a lot of fun here, and we're excited to see how the rest of the season plays out. July 7th, actually, is when we're back here, so early July when we come back here for the Idaho 250, which will be very similar to what we just saw here tonight. But what a race it was, and we're excited to see how it ends up shaking out in the points, because it's going to be tight going to the next race. And the next race for these guys is going to be in Memphis Motorsports Park for the BodyArmor LYTE Series Showdown with the E Series. Will anyone beat Alex in a row? That's going to be the fun thing to see with these guys going up against Alex in a row. What he did at South Boston the other night, definitely an impressive run. He took out Ludovic Charette and then still drove through the field in that race to win it, get his 2nd win in a row. Kyler Sustry has gotten 2 wins here in the West Series, and now he is going to be moving up in the championship standings as well. Let's see how it all goes down for him as we move on throughout the season. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys this weekend from Talladega in the Wall Cup Series, Mountain Dew 500 action. We'll see you guys in the BodyArmor Pro Series next week. The in-season tournament begins at Armory Digital next week, guys. That is going to be a lot of fun. Blinky's gearing up for his battle against Thomas Troxel on that one. And, hey, we still got points to give out over there as well. Grand Prix of Armory Digital next Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on AG the channel. Congratulations to Kyler Sustry and his race victory here at the Meridian Speedway. Here are the point standings for the BodyArmor LYTE Series East. And on behalf of Nathan Stapleton, I will see you guys later.